Hey, what is up, mortals? It's Andres here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. In this deep dive, we will be explaining the Soul Translator from Sword Art Online Alicization. The Soul Translator, also known as the STL, is a 4th generation full dive machine that was developed by Higa Takaru at Wrath. Unlike all of its predecessors, this device connects to a human soul, which is better known by the audience as a fluctlight instead of the brain. There are currently only 6 STLs in existence, 2 in Wrath's main office in Roppongi, while the other 4 STLs being located at the Ocean Turtle. The STL is designed based on Kujiro Rinko's design of the Medicuboid. The Medicuboid was based on the high-intensity output scanner that Kayaba Akihiko used to copy all of his consciousness onto the internet eternally in exchange for his life. The STL was constructed for the objective of creating a highly adaptive artificial intelligence to be used in Project Alicization, which was disguised as the Maritime Exploration Development. Unlike existing methods of creating AI, which require the use of computer architecture for the AI to gain experience via simple questions and answers, Project Alicization's AI is developed based on the structure of a human's brain in order to create an AI with the awareness and the adaptability level of a human. The STL is capable of scanning and replicating the structure of a human's fluctlight, and then cloning it to create artificial fluctlights, thus creating an AI with the capabilities of a real human. Project Alicization is a top-secret government project run by Wrath, who is affiliated with the Japan Self-Defense Force. The project was created due to the outdated autonomous equipment America provided Japan, even though they were supposed to work together and cooperate in order to develop the technology. The goal of Project Alicization was to create superior and improved unmanned technologies to reduce human casualties in wars. The name Alicization was formed from the acronym ALICE, which means Artificial Label Intelligent Cybernated Existence. The project was conducted mainly in Wrath's main base, the Ocean Turtle. However, their main base in Roppongi is used as a secondary facility. Based on the quantum brain dynamics theory in the Sword Art Online universe, an evanescent proton is a light particle which acts as a quantum unit within the mind. It exists within each and every one of the microtubules inside of the nerve cell. The light particle will live in a state of constant indeterminism and fluctuates according to probability theory. The collection of such particles is known as a quantum field, dubbed by Wrath as a fluctuating light. It's also known as the fluctlight. It's what the human consciousness and soul are comprised of. The STL itself has a very similar design to the Medicuboid, despite being several times larger than it. The STL is a very large metal cuboid machine that, along with the console and its cooling equipment, can take up an entire large room, nearly reaching the ceiling. The device gives off a dark silverish gray glow and has a mechanical feel due to the aluminum used in its construction. The machine bears the logo of the manufacturer. The STL has the word Soul Translator written in English on its side and the top. Similar to the Medicuboid, the STL has a 3-meter-long gel bed attached to it where the user rests. There is a helmet-looking interface that covers the user's area above the shoulders completely that hangs above the device. The STL is capable of recording the spin and vector of each individual photon within the microtubules, and thus translates the information stored within the fluctlights to a form that computers can comprehend, and vice versa. However, unlike its 2 predecessors, Nerve Gear and Amusphere, the STL does not use generated polygons for the 3-dimensional models. Instead, it makes use of optical memory information, which is also known as mnemonic visual data, to realize the sensations of the virtual world. The STL maintains and disposes of the 5 senses within the fluctlight's short-term memory region. It inserts new information based on what the avatar feels, sees, hears, touches, and/or tastes, creating an illusion of being physically in the virtual world. As such, the virtual world rendered by the STL is so similar to the real world that it's nearly impossible to tell the difference. This is because every object within the virtual world is at the exact same level as the real thing in the user's consciousness. Though the STL operates via manipulating a person's short-term memory, the inserted memories do not necessarily need to be one of the user's. This allows the user to experience many things that he or she has never done before, as well as allow the designing of worlds that can significantly differ from reality and have them seem realistic. Before we get back into the deep dive, I would like to say that we've got a 3rd channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we are a secondary channel to our main channel, We the Celestials. We the Celestials is full of fun, what-if stories. If you have a sugar tooth for great storytelling, please give that channel a visit as well. If you're interested in the content we share with all channels, make sure you click the icon on the top right corner or check the description below for a link to the channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the dive. The 6 STLs in existence are all connected to a unique quantum computer system called the Light Cube Cluster, which is a single massive central cube called the main visualizer. It exists within the clusters and stores all the optical memory information of the underworld, allowing all residents within the underworld to be within the same virtual world. The underworld is a virtual world set in a past era where science and philosophy were just being discovered. However, instead of recreating the past period, they gave the residents limited territory, and certain customs were later introduced to make the underworld their own unique society. When the underworld started, there were only 2 families of 8, each in a small village in the center of the human empire, Centauria. Both towns had 2 real Wrath employees nurturing them, and at the time, all the rest of the villagers were simulated with placeholder non-player characters. The STL has a unique ability called the Flux Light Acceleration, which, as the name suggests, allows the alteration of a person's perception of time. This causes a person's sense of time to become more subjective and susceptible to change. For example, during emergencies, the body releases adrenaline, which makes the flow of time seem slower for a person. On the other hand, during a relaxing talk, for instance, time seems to just speed up. The research was done by relating to how a person's sense of time can be controlled by the flux light, which was discovered that flowing at the core of the flux light is a pulse that acts as a thought clock control system, due to the brain rarely making full use of its processing capacity during non-critical moments. It is then possible to speed up the thought control signal to handle calculations at a more incredible speed, thus allowing the flow of time to seem slower to a person. And also, during a dream, the flux light is sped up to deal with large amounts of memories. This is due to all the information that was accumulated throughout the entire day. This makes a dream of several minutes feel like it's taken place over the course of several hours. This very same principle is applied by the Soul Translator. This is capable of using electric signals to trigger neurons in a way that results in various biological phenomena. The phenomenon accelerates the flux lights through a control rate, thus accelerating the flux light's sense of time. However, there is an issue with the use of such a high flux light acceleration rate. The flux light itself has a limited lifespan estimated to be about 150 years because of the accumulation of memories. Therefore, when a real human is using the STL, the FLA rate is set to no more than 1500 for safety reasons. Furthermore, the user is not recommended to spend more than 30 years within an accelerated state. So far in the anime, we have seen Gabrielle Miller, Basago Casals, Yuki Asuna, and Kirigaya Kazuto use the STL to enter the underworld, with Kazuto being there the longest, and Asuna and Gabrielle having super accounts. Thank you all for watching the video. Now there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our Patreon supporters for helping us fund these videos. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you like the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals, and have an amazing day.